That's
I'm just
that's We're talking about Split.
Woo! Can't spell split.
Do you guys have
without
split personalities? I agree.
I have multiple personalities. We talk about them on the regular.
I barely even have one. Brett is like, he really does have like two personalities. There's with Molly personality, and then there's without Molly personality.
We're not talking about the drug.
Her name's Molly.
Split by M. Night Shyamalan. I saw it.
I did not.
Brett did not see it, so we're going to
did.
stone him
I
publicly.
do know about the twist. Spoiler warning right now.
We're really
We're
good
putting it in the
advertisers for
screen
ourselves.
right now.
Oh, wait.
Spoiler warning.
Or maybe we can have...
So, I didn't like a lot of the acting. James McAvoy was good.
He was
of course.
awesome.
He was the best part about the movie, obviously.
I think he's given the
I
best performance of the
remember
entire year.
I remember in the
Exactly.
visit there were like some scenes like in this like intense scenes that were like actually funny, like funny moments.
Were we talking about the visit?
There were moments like in Split that were the same way.
There's the dance scene.
Which dance scene?
The scene where he's Hedwig, where he's the kid personality,
Yeah.
and he brings her into his room, and then he starts doing like this gyrating
That's
dance
something
number.
a lot, like that he does a lot. Where it's
Yeah.
kind of a.
It's like disturbing.
It's kind of like do you that?
There's like the moment where Hedwig is like on his knees walking up to her like that.
Yeah.
In my audience, like there were people that seemed genuinely concerned and people that were laughing.
In my opinion, I do not think that there were good female, like the two
remember
best
the characters'
friend
names.
type. One of
They were
them's
weird.
in Edge of 17.
Yeah.
Anyways.
And the other one was in Skins.
Yeah.
Great show.
Was
It's on
she-
Netflix.
Yeah.
Watch
Wait.
it.
And
She's
the main girl confused me so
Really?
much. I didn't understand her backstory ever. Like,
Wait, really?
yeah.
Spoiler sign up right now. So like she was molested by her uncle when
I think
Oh,
I-
well, I
young.
knew that. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
I-
That was messed up. I like screamed in the theater whenever he's like,
But-
come play this little game.
It's really disturbing, but I like the message that it ends up trying to get across with stuff like that, with having that in the story.
Like what message?
The people in life that have had bad stuff happen to them, they're the real like ideal people.
They're the
I think the word that
strongest.
James McAvoy's character uses is pure. Most people view pure people as people that nothing bad has ever happened to, but he views pure people as people that have had something bad happen to them and overcome
it because they're the strongest. There's a lot of stuff that I didn't necessarily understand, like with each character. The guy that liked the girls to take their tops off and dance at night.
Okay, fun fact. They say he has like 23, 24 personalities in the movie. We see like 5 of them.
I know, that's something that
Yeah.
did annoy me. I was
That's
like,
disappointing.
We see
In the
about
movie.
8,
That's kinda-
and only about 4 of them have an actual impact on the plot.
I had mixed feelings because there was a lot of
Yeah.
hype going into Split. I was so excited to see it because I loved the visit. I had higher expectations than were met.
So like I've seen trailers of this. I've seen like 3 or 2. Like I didn't really.
3 or 2!
I didn't. I didn't like watching those trailers. I didn't really get the full plot. Like, can you explain to me like what the plot exactly was?
The main plot is that the personalities are kind of at war with each other. A few of them believe that another personality is going to be created.
The monster. There was like
The beast.
Yeah.
they're
that-
supposedly supposed to come out at this.
was
certain
that
point.
like when the beast like came out? Like was that like an intense moment or like how did that play?
It was pretty intense.
Yeah,
He
it's
started eating people. So, I mean, that
Yeah.
was very disturbing.
Wow.
I did not expect that because, or the main character opens the door and she sees her best friend like with half her body because
Yeah.
he ate
Oh wow.
her. And I was not expecting that at
Okay.
all. That really shocked me because the graphics were honestly kind of horrifying.
The movie as a whole is fine. I think
Yeah,
the
it's
main
not great.
thing that makes it not very good is there are so many little things. When he's becoming the beast, the 2 girls, at this point in the story, they have both attempted to escape and failed, and so he's kept them in these 2 separate rooms that are right next to each other. And basically, they've been in there for like 3 days. They're these closets, basically. There's like nothing in them. There's maybe 10 things in the closets. And they're trying to escape. And one of the girls says, hey, start looking around in your room for anything that you can see to get out. And I'm like, you've been in there for 3 days and you don't know what's in the room? There's like 10 objects in there. How do you not know what's in
so true.
It's the thing is like the little things in movies are usually what stick out to me and what make a movie good.
There's a little too much going on that like doesn't necessarily add to the plot, and it kind of just throws the audience for a loop. You're kind of
Yeah.
like, but not in a good way. There was the whole therapist thing, which then he like kills her, but she like writes down everything, and then there's the whole military thing, like
Military.
I
he
don't
has
even remember that.
PTSD, and he's like, my military uniform's in a
Oh.
locker,
Oh.
and it was never explained.
Yeah.
Well,
Like-
maybe there weren't plot holes. It didn't translate well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just a lot of random, like, oh, what if he was like in the military and that's why he's PTSD
Yeah.
and like
Just
well,
a lot of
but-
ideas.
Yeah, a lot of ideas. It kind of feels like they took all these ideas that they had while creating the movie, and then they were like, oh, we can put this in here,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's like ingredients that are not
Yeah.
mixing.
We mostly talked about negative things. What are good
Yeah.
things about the
Positive.
movie?
James McAvoy.
Yes.
He
was
is an
a-
incredible
He was a
actor.
very good
Love
actor.
him.
It's
He's very
one of
good.
the most impressive acting endeavors I've seen.
Yeah. And even though it can get silly at times, it does do
Yeah.
suspense really well.
It
Yeah.
does. I was definitely on the edge of my seat and did not expect a lot of the same.
Yeah, a lot of things
A
happen.
lot of
in this
things
movie.
happen. So let's just get on
Wait,
to
the twist.
The twist. I want to talk about the twist. I read it, what happened, and when I read what happened, I freaked out because I am a huge fan of
Okay,
Unbreakable.
He's the only one who's seen Unbreakable.
I
and
love
I mean,
Unbreakable. It is
so I guess-
such an underrated movie,
Yeah,
and it's
so-
so good. Bruce Willis appears at the end of the movie as his character in Unbreakable. I
the
actually
credits?
saw like a clip of it on YouTube, and when I saw it, I was like, "Holy!" I immediately knew that it was like character in Unbreakable, and I'm like, "Oh my god, yeah!"
Okay, but what's the twist?
It ties in.
It's in
with
the same
Unbreakable.
universe as, I guess. What
Yeah. So what's the twist?
I don't know.
That's
Like,
an
to
awesome
do-
twist. Like it ties in with one of his
What does
movies
it
that
tie
he
in with?
has.
Unbreakable.
That's
But
we were
what
talking-
in Unbreakable does it tie in?
The movie.
The fact that the
universe
character is
that
in
Unbreakable
the
is
same
in.
universe. That's all it really is.
Okay, is it just me or is that a lame twist?
That's very
Yeah.
unexpected. Like I don't think that's ever been done in a twist where you don't know
I
that
wouldn't
it,
say
like,
that.
ties in with like another
It's-
movie universe.
It is definitely a Shyamalan twist because it has no reason to be there. But
Yeah.
it's also not a Shyamalan twist in the sense that it actually doesn't screw up the story.
Yeah,
And so,
I don't.
Taken
The
out
definition
entirely.
of twist is like it alters what you've thought throughout the entire movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And throughout the entire movie, you're not thinking, oh, this definitely doesn't take place in the same universe as
Exactly.
Unbreakable.
Like I knew there was a twist going into it, so I was
Yeah.
waiting for. Like I had my own hypotheses that she was like schizophrenic or something. The main
The girl?
character.
That
I
would
mean,
have been fun.
I know there would have been like some really good things, but the fact that like the twist is, oh, this little guy was at a cafe watching
Yeah.
the news.
When I was watching Unbreakable, I was thinking, man, I'd really like to see Bruce Willis's character in this movie like fight like a supervillain or something like that. And basically, like the character that James McAvoy plays is kind of like a supervillain because I don't know if this is right,
True.
but he
That's
was climbing
true.
on walls.
Okay,
and
well,
stuff.
He is
maybe-
that. Like, because he turns into the beast.
Yeah,
That
I
would
thought
make
that's-
sense
yeah.
if it was setting it up for.
Yeah.
I don't really have good expectations for whatever movie might come, but I
Yeah.
mean, Shyamalan's getting better, so.
He is after what happened with some movies in the past. Like,
Some
Debatable.
movies.
I'm interested to see
Avatar:
what
The
he
Last
does next.
Airbender.
Anyways,
Ooh, yeah.
star ratings 5 out
I'd
of 10.
give it a 6.
Okay.
So our score is a 5.5. It's good, I guess.
It's not.
Question mark?
Good question.
It's
I-
really an interpretive thing, so.
It really
Yeah.
is.
I guess it
there-
just depends on what you're into. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you're
Okay.
into.
Bye.